I'm Miss Walker, and in this video, I'm going over week 7, Tuesday, and we are going to be looking at a pictograph, and a pictograph has pictures. Looking at this paragraph, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. It says, Michael, Emily, Jose, Jennifer, and Kevin went on a fishing trip. The pictograph below shows how many fish each caught. Use the pictograph to answer the questions. So the first thing we do when we have a pictograph is we circle the key. The key says that each fish is equal to 6 fish. And what I always tell my students to do first is to go ahead and figure out how many would be half a fish. So what I have them do is if a fish is 6, they draw 6 dots. And then they figure out where can they divide it to get an equal number on both sides. Or they can think, what two numbers that are the same added together gives me 6? Well, if you have 3 plus 3, it gives you 6. So half of a fish is going to equal 3. Okay? So anytime we have a big number for the fish, we go ahead and figure out what half is, if it's divisible by 2. All right. Or you could have just said, what is 6 divided by 2? And 6 divided by 2 is 3. We're going to go ahead and do what I always have my students do in class, and that is to figure out what in the world is this graph talking about. So the title of this graph is Number of Fish Caught. We have Michael, Emily, Jose, Jennifer, and Kevin. What we do is we figure out how many we have in each of these rows, so that way when we go to the answers, it's really easy to figure out the answers. So we have 6, 12, 18 on Michael. So we're going to write the number 18 out to the side on his. Now, the reason why we go ahead and do that is because if you go to the next one, you already know that any fish that comes out to here is going to be 18. It just really helps you with that aspect of counting. Also, you notice you have 1, 2, 3 fish. 6 times 3 is 18. So if you wanted to do the multiplication, you could also do that. Now I'm going to move on to Emily. I'm going to use pink for her since she's a girl. Now, boys can like pink as well. I'm just using pink so that I can see which ones are my boys and which ones are my girls. It'll help us later on, I promise. So I already know all the way out here is 18. 18 plus 6. Yes, sorry, I was making sure I did my math right. It's 24. And then we have 30. And then we have 36. So this one is 36 for Emily. I'm used to starting all the way over at 6 and then 12 and continuing going from there. So Ms. Walker needs to work on starting at random numbers and skip counting from them. That was interesting. All right. We're going to use blue again for Jose. And Jose has 6, 12. So I'm just going to write 12 out to the side. You're probably thinking, well, Ms. Walker, 6 times 2 is 12. Yes, you were right. You also could have seen that 12 was up here and it goes straight down. Jennifer has, let's see, all the way out here is 36. And the next one would be 42. So Jennifer has 42. 6 multiplied by 7 is 42. And then Kevin has 6, 12. And he has, we said half is 3. So we're going to put 12 in our head, and then we're going to add 3 more. So 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to write 15 over here. Now I'm going to be able to answer these questions. It says, how many fish did Michael catch? Michael's up here. He has 18 fish. Remember to put your label, because if you don't, I always think you're talking about puppies. The next one, how many did Emily catch? She's up here. She had 36 fish. How many did Kevin catch? He's right here. He had 15 fish. How many more? Oh, you should have told me to stop, Miss Walker. Underline how many more and put a subtraction sign. How many more means to subtract. Okay. How many more fish did Emily, oh, I got to use pink for Emily. Emily caught 36 catch, then Jose. Jose had 12. Do you notice how I'm putting the numbers up above the names? That will help you out a lot. And that'll help you catch your mistakes if you make them as well. So over here to the side, I'm going to do 36 take away 12. 6 take away 2 is 4, and 3 take away 1 is 2. So my difference is 24 fish. On the next one, number 5, it says, how many fish did the girls catch? Well, that's why I did my girls in pink. So all my pink numbers I'm going to add. I only have 2 pink numbers. I'm going to add 36 plus 42. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 4 plus 3 is 7. So my sum is 78 fish. Number 6 says, how many fish did the boys catch? Now, if I'm trying to find the total number of fish the boys caught, I have to add. So Michael has 18. I'm going to line all my numbers up just so that you guys can see that. Jose has 12. And Kevin has 15. When I add all my numbers up and there's more than just 2 add-ins, I always try to make a 10 because it's easier for me to add 10s. So 8 plus 2 gives me 10, plus 5 more is 15. So I'm going to put my 5 in my 1's place and my plus 1 above my 10's place. Now, you can add them just straight down. You have 4 1s, so 4 1s is just 4. 4 1s in the 10's place. So that's 4 or 4 10s, which is 40. All right, how many did the boys catch? They caught 45 fish. Moving on to this next question, number 7. It says, how many more, stop, Miss Walker, subtract. How many more fish did the girls catch? Oh, we got 78 for the girls, then the boys. And for the boys, we got 45. So we have to subtract. But remember, when we subtract, we always put the larger number on top. So our minuend, the big number, is 78. It goes on top. Our subtrahend, the number we're subtracting, the smaller number goes on bottom. And then we've got to find our difference. We'll do our difference in green. How about that? 8 take away 5 leaves me with 3, and 7 take away 4 also leaves me with 3. So our difference is 33 fish. Number 8. How many fish did Jose, all right, I got to see how many Jose has. Jose has 12. Jose and Kevin has 15. How many did they catch? I'm going to do that one in my head because there's no regrouping. The answer to this one, our sum is going to be 27 fish. And I know that I'm adding because it asks how many they had. Even though it didn't say all together, I know I've got to put them together to find my total. On number 9, it says find the sum. All right, we know sum means that we're going to add. So I'm going to underline sum and put a plus sign. Find the sum of the fish caught by all 5 people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. The first way, sorry about that. The first way is by lining all these numbers up and adding them. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you cannot add up 5 numbers at a time with 5 add-ins, then what you need to do is you need to break it apart and go ahead and just do, 18 plus 36, get that sum, and then add 12, get that sum, then add 42, get that sum, and then add 15. But I'm going to just go ahead and add them the way that they are so that you can see how to add more than just 2 or 3 add-ins together. So what I always do is I go and I try to make a 10. So 8 plus 2 gives me 10. 6 plus 5 gives me 11. And then I have 2 left over. So I'm going to put 2 in my ones place. And I'm going to add these up because this is adding my ones place. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So in my ones place, I'm going to put a 3. And in my tens place, I'm going to put plus 2. Now I can add up all my numbers that I have over here in my tens place. All right, what I'm going to do is 2 plus 3. I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use green for my tens place, actually. So 2 plus 3 is going to give me 5. So I don't want y'all to get too confused. I'm going to cross these out when I use them. I use 2 and I use 3. I'm going to do 4 plus 1 because that's going to give me 5 as well, and I like to make a 10. 5 plus 5 gives me 10. Then I have 2 left over. I have 1 here and 1 here. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 10 plus 2 is 12. So then I put the 12 here. So my sum is going to be 123. Now, if you have another way of doing this, I'm going to go ahead and show you the other way. You can either count by sixes, all of these fish, or you can use multiplication. Now, I'm going to count how many whole fish I have. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ooh, that's not even a fish. 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to do 20 multiplied by 6 because I was counting by 6 and I have 20 fish. 0 multiplied by 6 is 0, and 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. Now, if you notice, I did not add this half a fish yet because it was counting by a different number. So now I've got to use my 120 and I've got to add my half a fish, which is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 plus nothing is 2, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So my sum is 123. That for me was a lot faster, but I also know how to do my multiplication. Multiplying numbers that are multiple of tens by a one-digit number is pretty easy. You could have just done 6 times 2 is 12 and added a 0. All right. Moving on. Oh, I just said 123 fish. All right, number 10. Who caught fewer fish? And if you don't know what fewer means, it means less or the smaller amount. So who caught the least amount of fish? Jennifer or Emily? So I'm looking up here. Emily has 36. Jennifer has 42. So 36 is less than 42. So Jennifer is the one who has more fish, and Emily is the one who has less fish. So my answer is going to be Emily. (11) Did Jennifer catch an odd number of fish or even? Odd or even number of fish. So I'm looking. Jennifer has 42. And when we decide if a number is even or odd, we always look in the ones place. That goes with the one we did on Monday. So in my ones place, I have a 2, and we know that 2 is even. So we're going to put even. Number 12. Jose said, I caught a dozen fish. Is he correct? Explain. Well, Jose is correct. Yes, because a dozen is 12. All right. I know this was a lot of information. A lot of different math skills were covered on this pictograph, but I hope that it was explained in a way that you can understand it. And if you need some extra help or additional help, feel free to reach out. You can text, call, email, whatever you need. If I'm not your math teacher, you can still reach out to me, or you can reach out to your teacher because they also know how to solve these problems. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.